I sold Canva templates for an entire year, and before I got into anything tactical, I really want to be clear about something up front, okay? This was not an overnight success story. A lot of what I tried didn't work. A lot of products flopped. A lot of the time was spent just creating things that never sold. But the things that did work ended up completely changing how I view selling digital products online. And that's what today's video is about. It's not about theory, not just believe in yourself energy, but what actually moved the needle for me for a full year of selling Canva templates. If you're watching this and thinking about starting, or you already have a shop and feel stuck, I want you to listen to this like you're learning from someone who's already made the mistakes you're about to make. Now, the number one thing that made the biggest difference in my business personally was product research. And I know that sounds boring because everybody talks about it, but I genuinely believe product research is the reason I even made money at all this year. When I first started, I had all these ideas of what I wanted to sell. I thought if I made something aesthetic enough or unique enough, people would just find it and buy it. And that mindset alone would have kept me in the dark forever. Because the truth is, it doesn't matter what you want to sell, what you think is creative. The only thing that matters is what buyers are already searching for and what they're already purchasing. If I hadn't done product research, I would have never known what categories were actually viable. I would have never known which products had demand and which ones just looked good on my screen. And I definitely would have wasted way more time than I already did. For me, product research showed me patterns. It showed me what kept showing up in search results. It showed me what people were consistently buying, not just once, but over and over again. That's exactly how I knew what to sell, not because I was inspired, but because the data was telling me exactly what the buyers wanted. And one of the tools that helped me so much is Allura, and I talk about it all the time, but Allura is literally the reason why I don't have a 9-to-5. And as much as I rave about Allura didn't magically make my shop successful. It didn't guarantee sales, but what it did do is give me clarity. It helped me validate ideas before I spent days creating a product that no one was going to buy. I used Allura to check search volume, competition, and trends. And I also used it to avoid products that looked promising but weren't actually converting. And more than anything, it helped me make decisions with confidence instead of just guessing. Without some form of research, whether that's Allura or manually analyzing, you're basically just throwing products against the wall and hoping it sticks. And hope is not a starting point. Another huge shift for me this year was focusing on not the low effort products and just quick sales and prioritizing higher ticket items. When I first started, I really wanted those small wins, okay? I wanted those products I could make in an hour and wanted to upload new listings constantly. I thought that the more listings I had, that meant I was automatically gonna get more sales. But what actually ended up making me consistent money was products that took way more time to make. Products that solved real problems and weren't tied to trends or seasonal demand. Some of my best-selling products took me multiple days to create. Not because I was slow, but because I was detailed, I was meticulous, I made sure the colors look good, I made sure the font looked good. I really took my time to craft a great product. These products weren't quick fixes that took me 10 minutes to create. They were assets. And when your product is an asset to somebody, your product is a golden ticket to somebody. And I'm really not about to sit here and romanticize the process because I'm not gonna lie, it was exhausting. There were days where I questioned whether it was even worth it, especially when I saw other sellers uploading listings daily while I was stuck perfecting one listing. That's also where this approach set me back in some ways because my products were so extensive I couldn't upload nearly as many listings as I wanted to. My upload speed slowed down and that was infuriating and it felt like I was falling behind. But the funny thing is over time I realized that one solid evergreen product can outperform dozens and dozens of rushed ones. And that trade-off ended up being worth it to me. Another thing that played a massive role in standing out was offering more value than that of my competitors. I wasn't trying to reinvent the wheel. I wasn't trying to be wildly different. I just was trying to obviously be better. An example of this would be if my competitor was offering 30 Instagram templates, I would offer 50 Instagram templates. Same price, more value. I wanted buyers to look at my listing and feel like choosing me was the obvious option. In a crowded space, you don't win by being unique, you win by being undeniable. Now, none of that matters if people don't even click on your listing. And that brings me to something that will absolutely kill your sales if you ignore it, and that is your thumbnail. Your thumbnail is everything. I don't care how good your product is. If your thumbnail doesn't stop someone mid-scroll, they're never going to see what you're selling. If your listings aren't getting views or clicks, the problem is usually not Etsy, it's your thumbnail. This year, I constantly A/B tested thumbnails. I'd change fonts, I'd change colors and layouts, text, and then I would watch the data. If it doesn't improve clicks, I change it again and again. This alone increased conversion rates more than almost anything else because it allowed me to see what my customers visually like to see when they are purchasing from me. And finally, I already made a video about it, is Etsy ads. Running Etsy ads was a complete game changer for my shop. Not because it made me rich overnight, but because they amplified what was already moving. Etsy ads pushed my products in front of more people. Some of those listings started to rank organically and they hit the first page and just stayed there. And now, even without heavy ad spend, they still perform well organically. I still do keep ads on, but the organic boost they gave me was so huge. And I think of Etsy ads like a microphone. They don't fix bad products, they amplify the good ones. So if I had to sum up the entire year of selling Canva templates into a few real lessons, it would be this. Product research matters more more than creativity, evergreen products matter long term, value beats novelty, thumbnails sell, and ads amplifies what already works. Now, this year was not easy by any means. There were many setbacks, many drawbacks that made me question why I was even doing what I was doing. But I always say in every video, Rome was not built in a day. And as long as you are taking one step forward every single day and trying to move the needle in your business, you will not fail. And if you're serious about selling Canva templates, start with demand and not aesthetics.